Jaeger-LeCoultre is having a great year this far. They released some very interesting reversals during Watches and Wonders, and now it's time for their Polaris Chronograph to receive a sporty update. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. My name is Alex, and today we're taking a closer look at a novelty that looks very nice from Jaeger-LeCoultre. So Jaeger-LeCoultre sent me this watch a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't know what to expect when I received it because I had no idea what they sent and I had no idea what to expect or anything like that. So when I unpacked the box, I got surprised. And I was pleasantly surprised actually, because the Polaris collection is a collection that they have started to give more focus the last couple of years. Last year we saw the Polaris date get a very nice and good looking green dial. And I actually also made a video last year about 3 blue dial chronographs, and the Polaris chronograph with the previous version was one of them. For the updated version, we have 2 new dial colors. The one featured here is the gray one, but there's also a blue dial version. So the new Polaris watches in general have these beautiful lacquer dials. So there's a dial with basically 2 dials within one. So we have a center part of the dial which has a sunburst or sunray finish, and the outer part has a very nice grain finish. But both parts of the dial are lacquered, which gives a very interesting shine to the watches. When it comes to the 2 versions, we see a couple of small updates to the watch's aesthetics, but also to the movement. So if we start from the outside, we have a 42mm case, which was also the case for the previous version, no pun intended. This one is a bit thicker with its 13.39mm case thickness. The previous version of the Polaris was 1mm slimmer, and I must say, even though it's a 42mm watch, it wears quite nicely even on my 16.5cm wrist. And this is mainly due to the curved lugs that hugs the wrist very nicely. So whenever I try on one of the Polaris watches, even if it's the date version of the Chrono or the perpetual calendar, I always get a nice feeling when I wear it on the wrist. We have a nice finish on the case with a mainly brushed case with a polished bezel and this polished bevel on the lugs. Finishing looks really good, and it has a great build quality to the case. The watch is water resistant down to 100 meters, and this version, the gray dial version, comes on a rubber strap and also a beige canvas strap. And for the blue dial version, it comes on either a rubber strap or a stainless steel bracelet. So the bracelet is probably something you can buy separately if you want to put your gray dial version on a bracelet. The folding clasp system is an interesting one because it's very easy to change the folding clasp from the one strap, for example from the rubber to the canvas strap. I'm trying to demonstrate it how you do it right here. It was a bit tricky to get on camera, but when you get the hang of it, it's very easy and convenient to do so. And for the straps themselves, it's very easy to attach and detach these from the case. So for the dials, as I said, lacquer dials with a center part that has a sunburst finish and a outer part that has a grained finish. I really like this combination between the grain finish and the sunray finish. It gives an interesting contrast to the dial. For the new versions of the Polaris chronograph, we see the orange accents that we've seen previously on the Polaris date and also on the perpetual calendar. These really add some sportiness to the watch, and the combination between blue and orange and gray and orange are really nice combinations in my eyes. Also a change to the dial or with the movement is that on the new chronograph version of the Polaris, we have a running seconds at 9 o'clock. On the previous version, you didn't have that. So you could basically use the chronograph second hand as the second hand, because this movement, if we jump into that, has a vertical clutch and column wheel chronograph system. And the caliber is the in-house chronograph caliber movement from Jaeger-LeCoultre, caliber 761. It has 65 hours of power reserve. It's nicely finished and visible through the sapphire crystal case back. It has Cote de Genève, a skeletonized rotor, blue screws. It's a really nice looking movement, and it's something you could and should expect from a watchmaker as Jaeger-LeCoultre. As of when this video is being recorded, I don't know the price tag for this watch. I would believe that it's somewhere around maybe 16,000 euros, but this also depends on which market you're in. But for the price tag, I believe it's quite justified for a watch of this caliber with this beautifully finished movement, with the interesting dials, and also with the, overall quality of the watch. So to conclude it, I like the watch. I was pleasantly surprised when I received it and did unpack it from the box. It was a very good first impression. I like the updated dials with these orange accents. It gives it a bit more sportiness than the predecessor. I like the updated movement with the running seconds at 9 o'clock. I don't like the updated thickness that is a bit thicker, but I hope there's a good reason on the movement aspect for that part. And I also like how nicely this watch wears on my 16.5 centimeter wrist despite the size. So let me know, guys, what you think about this new Polaris chronograph by Jaeger-LeCoultre, and don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.